The Kh-22 Burya Storm was a Soviet nuclear-tipped anti-ship missile. Development of this missile began back in 1958. It was originally designed to be carried by the Tu-22 medium-range bomber. At the time, this bomber was in the final stages of development. Western reporting name of this missile is AS-4 or Kitchen. At the time of its introduction, this was considered a long-range weapon. Main role of the Kh-22 was to destroy U.S. aircraft carriers and carrier battle groups using its nuclear warhead. Soon after the introduction, various versions of the Kh-22 was developed. Some of the version were designed to engage surface targets. It could target bridges, dams, and various strategic area targets. During the early 2000s, the Kh-22 missiles were removed from active service and were put to storage. However, in 2022, during the Russian invasion to Ukraine, the Kh-22 air-launched missiles with conventional warheads were widely used against Ukrainian targets. It seems that currently the Kh-22N is currently the most widely used version of the missile. Currently, this missile can be carried only by Russian Tupolev Tu-22M3 medium-range bombers. Russia still operates these cruise missiles despite their age and outdated guidance systems. Initially, the Kh-22 was carried by various versions of the Tu-22 bomber, including the Tu-22K, Tu-22KD, Tu-22KP, and Tu-22KPD. Though this aircraft had design flaws and was soon retired. A more modern Tu-22M2 bomber could carry one or two of these missiles. The further improved Tu-22M3 could carry up to 3 of these missiles. The Kh-22 could be launched from standoff ranges without entering hostile air defense zones. The Kh-22 uses liquid fuel. Missile has a range of 80 to 330 kilometers, depending on the version. Initial version of the missile had active radar guidance. Initial versions of the Kh-22 were launched at altitudes of 10 to 14 kilometers. Though improved versions of the missile could be launched at much lower altitudes. After the launch, the Kh-22 missile would climb to an altitude of 22.5 kilometers, 12 kilometers on some versions. In flight, it accelerates to a speed of Mach 3, 704 kilometers per hour. The missile attacks its target from the top. At terminal stage, it accelerates to Mach 4.15, 124 kilometers per hour. So this missile reaches its target within around 4 to 5 minutes. The Kh-22 has a nuclear warhead with a blast yield of 350 kt to 1 metric ton. There were also versions with 1,000 kilograms conventional warheads for ground attack role. It is indeed a very powerful weapon, even armed with conventional warhead. Soviets claimed that initial versions of the Kh-22 had a hit probability of 80%. On newer versions, this reportedly increased to 97%. However, this missile only has an inertial guidance system. Since the beginning of the Russian military invasion to Ukraine, Russia launched more than 210 Kh-22 missiles against Ukrainian targets by January 2023. These missiles were fitted with 1,000 kilograms conventional warheads. This missile proved to be very inaccurate, especially in urban environment. Missiles were missing their targets by several hundreds meters and were often hitting civilian targets. An error of several hundred meters would not be crucial for a missile with a nuclear warhead. However, once armed with a conventional warhead, this missile is not suitable for precision strikes. Russians widely used these missiles in Ukraine mainly because dwindling stockpiles of more accurate modern long-range weapons. Interestingly, in January 2023, Ukrainian Air Force commander reported that Ukrainian air defense systems were unable to intercepting the Russian Kh-22 missiles. By that time, not a single missile out of more than 210 launched was intercepted by Ukrainian air defense systems. He claimed that in order to intercept the Kh-22 missiles, modern systems like Patriot PAC-3 or SAM-T are required due to their high speed. It is unclear whether this statement was true. Some other sources claim that the aging Kh-22 missiles are easy targets for modern air defense systems, though it might be a tough nut for short-range air defense systems. successor for the Kh-22 became the Kh-32, that can be carried by the new Russian Tu-22M3M bombers.